What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be casting the game between Alliance and DK. I said it in my previous videos. I am so excited to be casting these guys. It turns out they're playing this game, the time zone in Korea. It's convenient for me to cast this live, and don't tell anyone that I'm casting this live because I don't want them to know about it, especially the people who run the tournament, because then I could actually get in trouble for that. So don't do that. Don't do that, but we will see these two powerhouses of Dota go toe-to-toe with each other. Alliance, debatably, if not, not debatably, the most powerful team in the West. DK, one of the most powerful teams in the East, up there with the likes of, I don't know, LGD, China, IG. I don't really pay attention to the Eastern scene that much. I've only casted so far 2 games of DK in my career. But, yeah, hopefully they will be pretty good as a matchup. I don't know, it's been a while since these guys have played against each other. I think TI3 was the last time that they have met. If they even met at all, I'm assuming they have, but DK's lineup back then was vastly different. So we expect to see some pretty good Dota. Both of these teams crushed their way past FOU for our Utopia, the Korean team, and now they're here to play 2 games. I don't think it's a best of anything. I guess it's a best of 2, but it actually doesn't mean anything. They're just going to be playing 2 games for us tonight, so buckle your seatbelts. It should be a wild ride. DK going to open up their picks with the Visage pick, probably the most important support hero in the game right now. Just the amount of power that he could put out just by casting an early game Soul Assumption or using those familiars once he gets to level 6, it demolishes people. It's not even funny. So DK opening with the Visage as well as the Timbersaw. I believe this is the same 2 hero combination that they picked versus FOU. It was Ice 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 on the Timbersaw and I believe Lamb on the Visage. No, it might have been someone else. So yeah, but I know Ice 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 definitely went on the Timbersaw last time. Had a couple of issues with a Slardar tri-lane from FOU, but in the end he was dealing a ton of pure damage and it really showed. You could slow him down, but that's in the end all you're going to be doing. You're just going to be slowing him down. He still will get his farm and he still will get his levels and he probably will crush you. Alliance, after banning out the Naga Siren, who is also one of the most important support heroes in the game, choosing to ban out the Alchemist as one of their first rounds. And I think this is a giant nod to Mushi, who ran the Alchemist in a solo mid role in their game, in DK's game versus FOU. So Alliance definitely making a kind of a respect ban towards Mushi. DK doing the same thing with the Nature's Prophet towards Admiral Bulldog. But yeah, definitely respecting that mid lane Alchemist in the fact that he could, just never-ending push that lane, and then when the push comes to shove, you shake that unstable concoction, and then you put some hurt on the enemies. As far as the picks go, Alliance going to open up the Bounty Hunter as well as the Life Stealer. So already heroes being picked up for Loda as well as probably Admiral Bulldog, I would say. Admiral Bulldog does play a good Bounty Hunter, but nowadays we're seeing Bounty Hunter played as more of a supporty role. We've been seeing many 4-position Bounty Hunters. The gold changes, I think, are mostly to thank for that. And that Bounty Hunter usually just makes his living by going around and jacking creeps, which is a very interesting way to play, but hell, if it gets you to your level 6 mark, does it really matter where you are? Roaming Bounty Hunter, it's kind of a thing. It's only kind of a thing. Change for in-game sound. I can't. It's too late for that. I would need a broadcaster slot, and I can't do that. I don't want them to even know I'm casting this. But yeah, DK going to ban out some mid heroes. S4, the son of Magnus, will not get his namesake in this particular game. Puck also being banned out. Alliance in the meantime paying some attention to Burning. Weaver as well as an anti-mage. Alchemist already banned out, targeting that potential for an Alchemist Burning. So yeah, a lot of respect bans going out, but at the same time, these are heroes that will just go perfectly well with the team comps that are in this game so far. Like anti-mage as well as Weaver, they would go fairly well with the Visage, especially when combined with someone like Crystal Maiden. When you have the likes of Lifestealer, Bounty Hunter, you really don't want to give the Lifestealer an easy way into those fights with the Infest, and Puck with the Illusory Orb, Magnus with Skewer, both of them with the eventual Blink Dagger. All of those, Lifestealer taxis, in air quotes, are really not what you want to go up against as DK. Alliance actually not opting for their mid-hero just yet, which is kind of surprising. I would expect them to go for something like a Storm Spirit, just because Storm Spirit is one of, in my opinion, is actually the best Lifestealer Infest bomb vehicle that Yeah, it's a vehicle bomb. It's a car bomb. Come on, guys. That's totally politically correct. I should totally be saying that. But yeah, you just drive that Lifestealer right into the middle of the fight. He explodes. There's blood everywhere, and then Storm Spirit just does his thing. I still think that's probably the strongest combination that you could pursue with the Lifestealer. But they're gonna opt for instead a Windrunner, which is probably going to be played by, I believe it's EGM. Yeah, it's definitely EGM that plays the support-oriented Windrunner. We'll give them a good disable and really just a lot of poking range. Windrunner as a support hero is excellent at that. Her range is huge, and when you're playing with the Lifestealer, it's not exactly the best. Like, you would ideally want to have someone like a Shadow Demon or a Crystal Maiden so that you could just drop your spells and then close the distance and then beat the crap out of him. Windrunner can't really do that unless she lands up a lucky Shackle Shot, and those Shackle Shots, unless there is an Nature's Prophet on the field to help set up with a Sprout, and there isn't because he's banned, those Shackle Shots just probably aren't going to land. So I expect Windrunner to mostly be on pulling duty, mostly just going to be playing that more support pokey-oriented role rather than setting up kills. And at the end of the day, if she does get a couple of kills, and if the kills are actually substantial enough, then that will be perfectly suitable for Loda. I mean, all he needs is space, and if he gets his farm, he will be doing pretty well. DK for the third pick, gonna go with another support hero in the Lion. So Lion as well as Visage, that will charge Visage's Soul Assumption meter extremely quickly. Lion just with an Impale, Visage with the crowd control that he offers, means that whoever's up in the lane against them is going to be in for some hurt. Not only that, but Lion as well as Visage, both heroes that are very, very capable of roaming. Jumping someone with a Hex is pretty much the best way to initiate a fight. Hex is a pretty long range, instant cast animation. You can't really ask for much more than that. DK, though, still have to go for their carry hero, so we'll see what they actually want to pick up. Knowing that their carry, the opposing carry, is going to be a Lifestealer, knowing that Batrider is on the field now, who will most likely go towards the mid lane, I want to say. S4's Batrider is not to be trifled with, though. DK, after knowing that, they could respond accordingly. There aren't many heroes that would hard counter the Batrider, even though nowadays he doesn't really have as much damage as he used to. Kind of got hit with the nerf bat a little bit. Ooh, they're going to go with a Pugna. That is fairly interesting. You wouldn't really peg DK's lineup for a pushing lineup, but that's really what Pugna is generally all about. You just get that blast level up high, and then you blast down towers. It does a hell of a lot of damage versus towers. There we go. Deals half damage to structures, so 160 damage versus structures is not bad at all when you consider the fact that they have 1300 HP. Just 10 of those and the tower is gone unless there's a treant on the field. But Pugna, Lion, Visage, that's a lot of burst damage. I don't know if Pugna is going to be played in the safe lane, which is usually what we see from Pugnas. He could go to the mid lane and do okay against the Batrider, but I think Batrider will, for the first couple levels, he will struggle against the Pugna. He will, just because Pugna has a pretty high base damage just starting off, and Batrider has pretty low base damage. But DK's Pugna pickup is, in my mind, pretty curious, because usually you would see Pugna with the likes of Treant Protector, with a Chenner Enchantress, something like that. Something that you could actually use to get some momentum into the lane and then push it down. If there's no creeps because the creep aggro got pulled, that doesn't really matter, because you have the Chen Enchantress creeps, you have the Venomancer wards or what have you, those treants that the Nature's Prophet summons. You have those things so that Pugna can just wait on his cooldowns and continuously blast down the towers. But DK, they don't really have that right now. So we'll see what they actually want to do with this Pugna. Pugna will, in my mind, not have a great time. With Bounty Hunter as well as Lifesteal on the field, you don't really want a soft hero like Pugna on your team as a primary farmer. But he might not be the primary farmer. I might be digging a little bit too deep into that. We'll see. DK, the final ban out, going to be that Crystal Maiden, and Alliance's final ban out is going to be the Razor. So support ban from the DK side, Alliance banning out the solo mid hero would really give Batrider a tough time, just because Batrider has such low base damage now. He is heavily reliant on his sticky napalm to actually get those last hits going. Oh man, we're getting up there as far as viewers are concerned. This is being streamed, by the way. Anyone who's watching the recording, this is being streamed. We might actually hit the 100 mark. That would be quite a number to hit. But Alliance, what do they want to do with this? I think the big question is, do they want to run this kind of new pseudo-supporty roaming bounty hunter, or are they okay with putting Admiral Bulldog in the bounty hunter, just putting him on the offlane and saying, hey, there you go, Admiral Bulldog. You've played this a million times, and that's just what we're going to do. But it's actually going to be a Chen for Alliance's last pick. So there's Ake's hero. you would never ever see Chen in this 5th slot again. I guarantee you that. Or, you know, not guarantee you that, but it's very probable that you will never see Chen in this 5th slot again. Usually if a team is going to pick up Chen, it will be in the first set of picks. But, hey, he slipped through, and Alliance still want that hero. We'll give Alliance a good amount of pushing power. We'll give them a means of drawing aggro very, very safely with Chen's creeps. But again, Alliance, they're not really pushing lineup, so they will take the opportunity to push down a couple of towers, knowing that DK are probably going to be doing the same thing on their top lane. So if you have Chen on the bottom lane doing the same thing, it'll eventually just be a off lane for off lane tower trade. And when that happens, it'll probably be better for Alliance, I would say. DK, their hard carry as it stands right now is the Pugna, and of course hard carry is in air quotes. But they are lacking someone to get farmed. There we go. It's going to be the Luna. So it looks like Pugna is actually going to go towards the mid lane, it looks like. Pugna versus Batrider. That will be an interesting matchup. Haven't seen that much at all. Luna, Lion, as well as Visage. That tri-lane is going to kill you. You will die to that tri-lane, and you will not have fun. I pretty much guarantee you that. So if it is, in fact, Admiral Bulldog on the Bounty Hunter going to that top lane, he's got to watch himself. Usually the game plan for all bounty hunters is don't die. That's it. Step 1, don't die. There is no step 2, right? Because then you just leech experience, you get to level 6, and you're fine. But with the Lion as well as Visage burning, as the Luna, having that mini stun is going to be absolutely huge. Because bounty hunter will be, if he doesn't see the Lion or the Visage, he'll think, okay, well, Luna's the only one here. I could possibly pop out from some experience. All of a sudden, he gets mini-stunned, Lion runs in for a Hex, and Sentries drop, and Admiral Bulldog's in for a World of Hurt. Now, Admiral Bulldog is a good enough player to know to not do that. So, he is going to try to play it as safe as possible, though there's only so much that he could do in the end. But here we go. We are in the game, and it looks like I predicted most of the heroes correctly. Follow Aki on Twitter. Okay. Here we go. We have Alliance's S4 on the Batrider with the nerfed base damage, so he's going to be struggling a little bit. Loda is going to be on his Lifestealer. He's seen him on that hero so many times nowadays. We have Ake on the Chen. We have EGM's Windrunner being played support once again. Admiral Bulldog up on the top lane is Bounty Hunter. Oh, we might be seeing a level 1 engagement. Timbersaw is going to be played by Ice Ice Ice. Burning is on the Luna. Mushi is mid-laning that Pugna. MMY is on the Lion. And Lamb is on the Visage. Loda is going to make contact with DK. And it looks like Alliance, knowing that Admiral Bulldog is up on the top lane, is going to just back their way out. I will change the stream title, I guess. Hopefully I won't miss First Blood.
30 seconds to battle.
Change the stream title. There we go. But looks like First Blood is not going to be had, at least for the moment. Admiral Bulldog now is in the area. Let's take a quick sentry check. There is a pair of sentry wards on Lamb, so it looks like if there is an engagement, they will, DK that is, will be completely prepared for this, though without the Lucent Beam up on Burning, although, are they going to drop a sentry now? That would be incredibly bold by Admiral Bulldog to run through them, and it looks like he's not going to do that. In fact, it's going to be Loda bullying Ice 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 out of lane, so let's see how these lanes shape up. DK going to send 3 of the heroes down to the bottom lane, aggressive tri-laning in quotes, but really they're not going to be running into anyone except for Admiral Bulldog, so although both sides, I think, well, yeah, well, DK definitely wants to have their tri-lane go up against the lane that Loda is in. That's pretty much what DK's tri-lane is designed to do. Poke at the Lifestealer, and then once you force his rage out, you just go in for the kill. Against Bounty Hunter, they could do the same thing, but if they do that same thing, it really won't benefit them as much as... What the hell is going on? What is this? What is... This range creep is so confused. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the tri-lane from Alliance, inherently not as aggressive with a Chen on the field, so Ice Ice will be able to get a couple of things done, though with EGM, what I said before in the draft, that long poke range, making things very difficult for Ice Ice to get close, and if he does get close for some experience, he will be substantially punished. But Ice Ice will be able to get some experience. Ake will jungle offensively, so he'll be completely fine in doing that. In the meantime, mid lane, Mushi preparing himself for this Batrider matchup with 5 stacks of that magic stick, going up against S4, 3 for 0 versus 6 for 1. I said before in the draft that Pugna, with the base damage advantage, will have an advantage moving forward. Wow, this guy has 9 stacks of tar. This is going to hurt. But he will have the early game advantage, but once S4 gets a little bit of levels going, he will be just fine in that lane. real action, I think, is going to happen in the bottom lane. Admiral Bulldog forced to play extremely cautiously. He did successfully get a pull-off, although that might have been DK doing that because of how experience now works. So it might have just been them doing that, but either way, Admiral Bulldog is hugging this tower pretty much, you know, hiding behind the tower. Tower's taking some pretty big hits, but at the end of the day, it's Admiral Bulldog who's getting a good amount of experience. He unfortunately missed that first attempt at a last hit, but he's getting the experience, and that's really what's important. Taking a quick experience check, he's getting a lot more than Ice 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 just because of how aggressive DK are pushing this tower. You wouldn't really expect this from a lineup like this. Luna, Lion, as well as Visage you wouldn't say, oh, that's a quote-unquote pushing lineup. But with the Lunar Blessing and with the pulling happening, offensive pulling, I never thought I would actually describe pulling like that, but that's definitely what's going on here. We can see Lamb offensively pulling the Radiant Creep so that Admiral Bulldog is forced to hide behind the tower, and you know, this tower will eventually go down to this very, very slow roll type of push from the DK side. The downside of this is that Admiral Bulldog is getting his levels up, so although he's not getting any CS, he has 2 CS, he is getting his levels, and the faster he gets to level 6, the faster he will be able to leave the lane. He's even going to participate in this creep war a little bit. Mushi now on the run. Hellbear coming in, but Mushi with the boots and Pugna's inherently fast movement speed. Why is he... What? Okay, it just said 361. Okay, so he had a stack of tar. I'm crazy. Okay, never mind. I was like, why is there a 1 at the end of his movement speed? That makes no sense. But S4, receiving a little bit of support from Ake, who really just has to plant a Hellbear right here. Unfortunately for Ake, not finding the really, really great one of the Harpy that shoots lightning. It's Stormcaller, I believe. Or, oh, Mushi, what are you doing here? He's going to run straight into a Hellbear clap. He's going to take a lot of damage. 2 stacks of tar on him. Flame breaking him back. He's going to go down. Ake draws first blood. Mushi, what was the deal with that? He saw... Did he not see Ake sitting right here? It seems like he didn't, but what do I know? Mushi feeling awfully aggressive, and he's going to be punished in a huge way, giving up first blood. Going to put S4 right in the driver's seat of this lane, and he's looking pretty good right now. Almost at that level 6 mark. Almost has his, well, he does have his bottle. He's working his, does he have his bottle? Yeah, there it is. A little bit slow to ship out, but he does have his bottle. And now he's going to be farming slowly towards his Blink Dagger. If he gets a little bit more help from Ake and a little bit more help from a blind in one eye Mushi, then he will be just able to quickly get that Blink Dagger. And then at that point, well, nerfs be damned. Flaming Lasso with such an early Blink Dagger is going to be effective no matter how you slice it. Admiral Bulldog and Ake now rotating down to the bot lane. There are sentry wards positioned. This is not a good fight for Alliance to take. Admiral Bulldog does not realize he's completely spotted out, burning in a turnaround, does not have an Eclipse, only level 3. Admiral Bulldog running out of this sentry ward range. Is there another one? It looks like, if I could click on Lamb, it looks like there is not. So Alliance just pretty much flexing their muscles. That was a complete bluff by Alliance. If DK turned around quickly and realized that there was only 2 of them there, then Bounty Hunter would have died. Chen might have lived. He was a little bit farther behind, but it would have been a definite bloodbath, and it definitely wouldn't have been fun for the Alliance side. They're going to stick around for just a little bit more. I'm not really too sure what they're trying to accomplish on this bottom lane. Burning, not really getting the most levels because of how aggressive he's been pushing. Oh, top lane, Ice Ice, going toe-to-toe with Loda. Open Wounds has already been used, but there's the power shot from nowhere. EGM securing the kill on the Timbersaw. And Loda just bullying Ice Ice, who is having, admittedly, a little bit of an easier lane than Admiral Bulldog, though the circumstances on the bottom lane making it easier for Admiral Bulldog to actually get experience. And Loda still farming 29 for 11, is level 4, so he's pretty much toe-to-toe with that Luna. Though 30 CS, he is a little bit more in the gold per minute chart ahead of Luna. Not really is going to make a huge difference in the long run. Taking a quick look at the gold experience graph, you can see it's pretty much normal, although the gold earned just slightly in favor of DK. This is not a tower's worth of gold in favor of DK. 2 kills for Alliance, really making up for that deficit. And then Alliance on the whole, farming a lot better. Mostly that can be attributed to Ake in his jungling, whereas Lamb as well as MMY kind of just doing that pseudo jungling support pulling thing, which isn't as fruitful as far as experience goes. EGM and Ice Ice going toe-to-toe with each other. Ice Ice with Lamb in the back end, only level 2 Visage though. Level 2 is a very important level for Visage because it does open up Grave Chill plus Soul Assumption, which is the combo. But still, it is only level 2, so his Soul Assumption isn't going to be doing that much. Loda and EGM, what are they planning on doing right now? They're going to go right back into this lane, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a momentary pause. Hopefully it doesn't last for too long. Holy shit on a brick, we have 434 viewers. Well, that's pretty cool, guys. Round of applause for you guys. 434. That is quite a number. Topping the charts, baby. Alright, but don't tell OGN that I'm doing this, because they might get a little bit angry. Just don't do that. Alright, so yeah, now that there's a pause, I could talk about the strategy, or I could just look at this Twitch chat. Right, okay, Pugna's back into this game. Admiral Bulldog, with having the lane pushed out this much so aggressively by DK, is going to be receiving some very, very easy experience. He's going to hit level 6 a little bit before Ice, though Ice has recovered decently. He's been absorbing a lot of the experience in that lane, but Admiral Bulldog almost at that track mark, and we'll see how effective he is from there. First nighttime, we're about halfway through it. Pugna level 6, S4. How far is he towards his Blink Dagger? Has 600 gold, not doing the best as far as farm goes. Top lane, Loda. Grave chilled up. Ice looks like he took a little bit of a beating. They wanted to bait them back into the tower, it looks like, but that ultimately didn't go well, obviously. And now 4 heroes up on this top lane for DK. Remarkably, Mushi isn't here, although it looks like Mushi is joining the fight. Okay, here we go. This is going to be DK's push. It's not the strongest. They don't have familiars up on Visage. Pugna is not yet level 7, so his Nether Blast isn't maxed out. The Luna is also not high enough level for Lunar Blessing. They don't have an Eclipse, but I think it should be enough, especially with Alliance. Yeah, not willing to defend this. DK, they're making a push happen out of a non-pushing lineup, and looks like it will be relatively successful. Mushi, though, kind of tapped for mana. He's the only one with Arcane Boots. Yeah, I don't think this... Oh no, he has a freaking regen rune. Blasts all day. This tower is going down. Fortification forced out. An Alliance, EGM. Here we go, EGM. Here's your big challenge. Last hit challenge. Can you deny this tower versus the Pugna? Looks like the answer is no. It's actually Perning, of all people. Go figure, right? To pick up that kill. Loda gonna take it to Decrep Blast, forcing the Rage out. He will walk away from that, but DK... I mean, they poured on the aggression pretty much unprompted. They could even keep going for this one. Force Alliance to come up here. Force Admiral Bulldog to come up from that free, easy lane. Looks like Ake is coming, as well as S4. And here we go. This might be the first big team fight of the game. Only 7 minutes in. Mushi on the front lines. Got to be careful with the amount of tar. There's a shockwave coming out. Mushi dropping very low. It will be Ice actually going after Ake. First of all, he is separated from his team. Looks like he's chasing actually very deep. He's going to secure the kill on the Satyr, but he's taking a good amount of damage. He will escape in the end, and DK taking down the tier 1 tower. They're going to be satisfied with that. They're going to move now to the mid lane, I believe. Mushi, is he level 7? Yes, he is. So the blast, the cannon, is at full power, and it will be used to blast down these towers, one cast at a time. He doesn't have a regen rune, but he does have Arcane Boots bottle. It should be enough, I think. Alliance, they're not really too willing to defend this, although Flame Break coming out, Ice taking a big hit there. He himself now does have Arcane Boost, so I think they really just want to give enough mana to Mushi so that he could continue to pump out those blasts. But it looks like for now, DK, a little bit roughed up from the previous fight, are going to back off. What they really need to do is get Burning to this level 6 and then do the same thing. If that happens, yes, you will have to deal with Chen Creeps and the Eclipse, but just the amount of damage that Eclipse deals out at level 1, or maybe level 7 on Luna, so you get the maxed out Lucent Beam. But once you have that, then the pushing becomes really scary, because Alliance have a choice. Do we let them sack the tower, which is obviously not optimal, or do we try to defend versus an Eclipse Luna, and at that point, probably a Chakram Timbersaw? And really, it's a no-win scenario for them. With Mushi's constant chip damage to the tower, they'll have to be forced into something. And, well, it could all go well for them, or it could just all go south as DK just crushes them. Of course, we'll have to see, but we do see Pugna, who is pretty full on mana, trying to push out this wave, but EGM, 3 points in Power Shot, S4 is around as well to lay down some Firefly if need be. Creeps, that's it denied, there we go. So the pushing is going to be slowed down substantially, though it looks like Lamb as well as MMY not willing to wait around. Ake might be in a little bit of trouble, but with the whole creep army with him, he should be relatively okay. Ice is in the area as well, but it looks like Ake is going to be just fine. It might be Loda actually in a little bit of trouble. Loda, don't go out there. Don't go out there. MMY going to be revealed as well as Lamb. Loda is going to be just fine in this lane. And it looks like there is no aggression here. It's actually going to be Burning, messing with EGM as well as S4 still. But in the meantime, Admiral Bulldog just on the top lane, farming his ass off. He got pushed pretty aggressively in the early stages, now taking the opportunity to recover. He will almost hit level 9, already has Phase Boots, Magic Wand. I'm assuming he's going to go for the drum. Oh, there it is. There's the Bracer coming out immediately for Admiral Bulldog. He's going to go for the classic utility bounty hunter build. And, well, we'll see if it could actually do well to get some track kills, because so far I don't believe any track kills. Yeah, no assists, no nothing. He hasn't really gotten much of anything so far. Loda getting chipped down, wow, from full to half HP with a Lucent Beam, with a Soul Assumption just off of that Lucent Beam. Here's the chip damage from DK. We're in for round 3, and we'll see if Alliance can actually put some fight up now. 1800 gold on S4. He really, really wants his Blink Dagger for this, but DK, I think they know that S4 is close enough to that Blink Dagger so that they could start pushing. The Firefly is going to come up, but 63 health in the tower. Kaboom! One more blast, and Pugna, with the slow roll chip damage, is going to take down that tower. That's going to put him very, very close to his mech. Only 200 away from that item, and then DK's pushing is just going to continue. I gotta say, I did not really expect this amount of pushing aggression to come up from the DK side. Yes, you kind of assume that when there is a Pugna on the field, but that's pretty much the only indication that Alliance got, and really, they don't have much AoE, and even if they did have AoE, would it help? They're drawing the creep aggro, but Mushi walking forward just a couple of inches to drop that blast means that DK are going to eventually take that tower, and Alliance are forced to fight. Now, Alliance, though, they are prepared to fight. You know, kind of prepared. Of course, they would like more items on Loda, who already has his drums, which is not bad, but they have initiation from S4, which is really what they were lacking before, because Mushi, as he steps up to Nether Blast, all of a sudden, blink Lasso. Lasso's range is incredibly short right now, pretty much is as far as you can reach your arm. But a blink Lasso is going to really, really punish this Pugna for stepping up for that blast, and that's really Alliance's shortcoming up until now. Their only form of initiation was hoping that DK didn't have True Sight, which of course they did have, because it's freaking DK. They're not going to be caught off like that. Ake getting in with the Centaur from nowhere, which obviously wasn't going to happen, or a lucky shackle shot from the Windrunner, which those weren't being attempted. So this is now the initiation method from Alliance. Now they can actually start taking fights. So DK, they also don't know about this fact, and especially with the big smoke up, DK, they're going to try to take down the rest of this top tower. Lucent Beam onto Loda. The Nether Ward is dropped. This will wreak havoc among the Alliance team, but here we go. The chip damage is going to start to begin, and tracks out onto Ice Ice Ice. Where is S4? Initiation is going to be all on him. Has a double damage rune in the bottle, though it won't really matter that much. And DK kind of clumped up. They still do not know about this Blink Dagger. Shackle Shot on Mushi, not going to last, but here comes the Chen army. Net onto Mushi, and Ice Ice is going to dive straight through, demolish that creep army from Chen. My god, those creeps didn't last long. Stun onto Ice Ice, though. This is going to be the initiation. Shackle, the Lasso is going to pull him right back into the Firefly EGM, taking a pretty big hit. Lamb getting Shackle Shot, not going to latch, though. Another Nether Blast going to fly. Lamb on the way out, going to get one more Soul Summon before he dies. There's Burning's Eclipse. Not going to do much damage, though, with the Hand of God from DK. Buybacks from Lamb. Mushi and Burning trying to escape, though that tar making it very difficult for them to do so. Burning on the run. Here comes Lamb trying to help out once again, but he's not level 6. Doesn't have any way to crowd control these heroes. Mushi, with 4 stacks to tar on him, has already popped the mech. Gonna try to go for him, but like it won't work. MMY, the next one to fall. DK, lose 5 heroes, don't get a single thing in return. And Alliance, they decide that they've had enough of playing these games. Like, okay, you're gonna push, that's fine. All we need is a Lasso. And a Lasso they had, and DK, 7-0. It was looking pretty good for them. I mean, they have the tower advantage. They have 3 tier 1s on Alliance, but Alliance, what the key thing that DK forgot is that Alliance is Alliance. And that counts for another hero, I suppose, because Alliance, they didn't lose a single person in that. There is no mech on the Alliance side. There's only a Hand of God to keep those heroes alive, and DK, they were trying to fight a retreating battle, which is never really what you want to do ever, unless you have, you know, people on cooldowns that are coming back. But really, that was messy to say the least, and DK, they didn't get a single kill out of that. That was kind of hard to, it seems hard to believe. Like, you'd expect between Eclipse popping off, you know, granted Chen creeps once again, between Eclipse popping off, between random Nether Blasts and Soul Assumptions, you would assume that they would have at least killed someone. But what's really hurting DK right now is the fact that Lamb does not have level 6, so the familiars are not there. They're missing that key stun. The fact that MMY doesn't have level 6, he doesn't have Finger Death, he doesn't have that insta-give on one of Alliance's softer heroes. DK going to try for another round. They will still get this chip damage out on the tower, but now they know that S4 has Blink Dagger, so they will pay attention to this Batrider. If this Batrider gets a little, Batrider's got other things to do apparently. Smoking up behind them. So no vision. He's going to go with Ake once again. I've seen this before. This episode, I know how this episode ends, and I don't like reruns, guys. this is, oh no, this is not the same episode. This is a little bit of a different one. But now, observers and sentries will not reveal the smoke, so Batrider feeling entirely confident to pursue this out. Will he find anyone? That's the big question. They do have vision on the Timbersaw. Blink forward from S4. With the Firefly, they will see Mushi, I think. Maybe. Doesn't matter. Probably not. They're not going to catch him. And Alliance have successfully staved off this push from DK. And DK kind of at a loss of what to do right now. I think level 6s on the supports is going to be a good way to start. But they invested a lot into those pushes, and they lost a lot in those pushes as well. They are still 2 towers ahead, but at the end of the day, there's this to consider. Alliance are vastly ahead in pretty much everything right now. You can see it reflected in Loda's net worth. He started that kind of pushing cycle with pretty much just phase boots. Now he has drums, now he has his armlet in the works. How far is he to his armlet? Looks like he has the recipe as well, so just 300 away from 200 away now from completing his armlet, and Loda is going to be doing some really, really heavy deeps. DK, it feels like they're on a timer, though with the lineup they have, it really shouldn't feel like that. They're putting a lot into these pushes, and it's really costing them in the experience department. Just having themselves being clumped up for so long means that the experience, which ordinarily would be will be gained by one hero. Like if one hero's in the lane, that's the only hero that gets experience. They're splitting it amongst 5, and that's really hurting them because Alliance are getting more out of each lane. They have many heroes in many lanes. They have endured really the troublesome part of DK's pushes, and now they're pretty much rearing to go after that lead. You can see Lion level 5 versus Windrunners level 8. Chen level 8 as well, so yeah, level 8 seems to be the level floor on Alliance, whereas DK still hurting for that level 6 MMY. Here we go, big smoke up, S4 will pop the Firefly. Who's it going to be? It should be Burning, although the Familiars are there to ward him off. He's going to take a lot of damage for those Familiars. Loda's going to go right in, open wounds onto MMY. Mech's going to pop, Burning on his way out. He needs to pop off that Eclipse. Loda in the middle of everything will get an Infest Bomb off, will do a good amount of damage. Ake securing the first kill onto MMY. S4 looking for initiation, or reinitiation, with that Blink Dagger. Burning getting hit by the Power Shot. Lasso, the Shackle Shot catching 2 actually. Burning right outside of that Chalk and will keep him safe, but another Shuriken from Admiral Bulldog will secure that kill. S4 gonna get slowed down. He had caught Mushi, but here comes Loda once again, gonna go for Ice Ice. 3 hits, gonna bring him down. Doesn't have open wounds, but he does have phase boots as well as jumps already used. There's the Eclipse from Burning, who did buy back. Will it actually kill anyone? It looks like the Soul Assumption will kill off Alke from long range. Loda trying to make his way out. Impale will deny him that luxury. And DK, they fight back, but it costed them. It is, at the end, I believe, a 3-for-3 fight. It looks like EGM, he's not done yet. This is mighty bold of him. A single Hex, a single Impale will mean his death. There's the Finger of Death from MMY. Surprise, this Lion has hit level 6, and EGM sure as hell knows it right now. DK looking far behind, but they're definitely not out of it just yet because DK, they take a 4-for-3 trade. They do buy back on a couple of heroes. Let's take a quick check on buybacks. They don't buy back on any of their heroes. Maybe I am wrong. No, they do buy back on 1 hero, 2 hero, 3. Yeah, they buy back. So they invest heavily into that. But they get a Roshan. They get, most importantly perhaps, momentum. MMY should be level 7. Yes, he is level 7. Lamb has hit the level 8 mark. And DK taking a much needed fight right now. Alliance gonna not feel the best about that fight, but really, that was some delayed initiation from Batrider. He got warded away by Lamb's Familiars very early on, so he could not get that Blink Lasso in. Less than ideal initiation from Alliance, even though they did snipe off MMY from the very beginning. And now, the pushing continues. DK, they've practiced this many a times in this game itself, so they know what they're doing. EGM gonna look for a Shackle. Mushi, as well as Burning, perfect for Alliance. Are they gonna go in on this? S4 thinking of going in on this. Dire Courier getting sniped by someone. I think it was Admiral Bulldog in the back end. Mech being popped. A DK. This is a clustered fight, and that's not what they want to take. They want to take a fight where the Impale can hit multiple people, where the Blast will hit multiple people. Lamb now in trouble. Another Flame Bag flying through. Loda from the back. Surprise Lifestealer. The Decrep on the MMY will keep him alive, but looks like Lamb will not be as lucky. MMY getting shackled to a tree. He'll go down to a Troll, and Loda trying to make his way out. Looks like he's going to rejoin this fight after Burning gets lassoed in. Blast from Mushi, though not really doing any damage at all. Infest now. Mushi can take a pretty big hit from that. More buybacks from DK. Just trying to keep this push going. Alliance haven't lost a damn thing in that fight. Loda coming from behind. That is kind of weird initiation. It's not like the, oh, Lifestealer initiation. You just run right in from the behind. It's kind of surprising, but EGM with the Shackle Shots really setting everything up. Buying time for S4 to find those angles. You saw him before going to the south through the trees. But EGM with the Shackles, as well as Loda kind of doing that pincer movement, really making it big for Alliance. And What was on that courier? I don't actually know how to check. So courier looks like he had nothing. This is, yeah, that's the courier. He had nothing. So Alliance DK at least didn't lose anything, but hell, they lost a lot as far as buybacks go. They're gonna get the tower, but big question is, will that even pay for their buybacks? I don't think it will. It really won't. They got a couple of creeps in that, so they're spending an awful lot to keep these pushes going, and for what? They're making a net loss on these buybacks, and that is, of course, less than ideal. However, what they are gaining is map control, and it's kind of hard to put a value on map control. You can't really say it's worth 1,000 gold or something like that, because it is worth however much effort you put into it. And we'll see how much effort DK actually want to put into it. But as of right now, they have the tower advantage, though Alliance still with this stronger team for now. Loda is completely stacked up on items, whereas Luna struggling to complete the Mithril Hammer for her BKB. Loda is, 1,000 gold in pocket with the Armlet Drum completed, phase boots as well. He really has the luxury of going for pretty much whatever he wants right now. He will have to deal with now a Force Staff from Mushi, as well as that Decrypify. We saw that before, keeping MMY alive, although sacrificing Lamb in the process. We won't mention that too much because, Lamb kind of got the short end of the stick there. But Loda will have to deal with these tools from DK to just try to get the Life Stealer off of their backs. So it's not the worst situation for DK. They just have to take a really good fight. This Eclipse has to be useful, and a level 1 Eclipse just isn't going to be useful. Like, it's great when you just pop level 6 and you have level 3 Beam, and then you could insta-gib someone one-on-one in the jungle. When you're actually up against 5 heroes, a level 1 Eclipse, 4 beams, that's not going to cut it. I guess 5 beams, but 5 beams from Luna is not going to cut it, especially when you have the Life Stealer doing that much damage that quickly. So Burning really needs to get something up. You would expect with all the towers that they have, that is DK, that they would have some huge items on Burning, but Power Treads, Ring of Basilius, Magic Wand, and the workings of a BKB, that's simply not enough, and they really need a little bit more, although it looks like they're pushing their luck. They have the Finger of Death, they have the Familiars up, they have the pushing power on Mushi. That's right, if DK sit around for too much, Mushi is going to become less and less effective, so they really want to get as much value out of this Pugna as they possibly can. It looks like it will be value enough. Last hit challenge from EGM, attempted but failed. Timbersaw going to secure that tower kill. But in the meantime, Admiral Bulldog as well as Aki in the mid lane. We have S4 in the bot lane, split pushing happening everywhere, though no towers actually being secured from the Alliance side. They're going to be forced to back off and wait until they take another clumped up fight. This is, of course, buying more time for Luna to get to that level 11 mark, which will, in a big way add to DK's team fight. Mostly because if you hit a couple of Lucent Beams on Chen's creeps when you're level 11, level 2 Eclipse, you don't really care, you don't even notice. When you're level 1 Eclipse, you notice. You see that beam hit the creep and you're dying inside because you're like, well, shit, that was one beam that hit the creep that should have hit a hero that should have gotten me a kill. And, well, that's just what Chen does. He adds chaos to the fight through these creeps. Makes it very difficult for DK to actually take a good fight, a favorable fight, that they would actually feel comfortable enough to take. So 12-4 is the score right now. We have a gold advantage. It's slowly starting to be brought back into the DK side with those towers, but the experience earned, it kind of speaks for itself with Alliance really topping the charts. Surprisingly, Mushi is the most farmed hero. I guess those tower last hits really doing it for him. As well as the fact that he's getting like all the creeps in every wave that is spawning on the map. Admiral Bulldog as well as Ake might be in a little bit of trouble. Initiation from DK though is really, really slim. I think it's only random familiar flanks or Force Staff on MMY into a Hex. DK really don't have the luxury of initiating. Their initiation is pretty much we push into your tower and then we force you to do something. And that's really not good for these, clustered fights. Without initiation, they can't take fights when they're not, right over here. It just won't work out for them. Or it will. It will work out in Alliance's favor. S4, now with the Blink Dagger Force Staff, I expect a BKB would come up next to protect himself against Impales as well as Hexes. And once he has that, Alliance will have the very, very clear initiation advantage. S4 blinking in, grabbing whoever he can, whoever he wants, really. And here we go, Ake as well as S4. We've seen this is like the third time, I think. They're on the hunt. And S4 is going to run headlong to Mushi. They see Mushi. Does Mushi know about this? S4 thinking about it. I think he has vision of him. Mushi, careful, man. You don't have backup, and they could kill you pretty damn quickly. Mushi's going to back up. But S4 is still smoked up. If Mushi steps up, this could be Mushi's death. This might be it. There we go. Lasso after the blink. Mushi going to take a power shot straight to the face. The burst damage is there. Another track kill for Alliance, and Mushi is going to bite the dust. Pugna once again going to be dead. And now this tower, without the blast to protect it, I think is going to drop as well. No initiation from Alliance after that lasso is used. But you know what? I don't even think DK want to take this fight, even though there is the fact that Loda is on the bot lane. Yeah, it's just going to be a 3-man push, because why not? You've scared them off. Oh, fortification. Here we go. Now we play the last hitting game. Familiars, it's not going to go their way. It's going to be S4 securing that gold, getting that much closer to his BKB. But now 13-4 with that extra kill. Alliance have also been stacking up those track kills, so keep that in mind, that every single kill that Alliance gets, they're getting a little bit more from it. I guess it's kind of amplified by the fact that it's also DK buying back, which is amplifying the effectiveness of Alliance's kills. Burning, teleporting down to the bot lane where Loda is there waiting for him. Burning, this might not have been the best idea. BKB just now up on Burning, but a beautiful 2-man shock shot. Can they follow up on this? No. Ake a little bit too far away, and they unfortunately have to squander that opportunity. DK coming in force. Is this going to be a fight that Alliance want? No, it's not. Loda says, peace, I'm out of here. Has completed his Sanjin Yasha, and he's going to just farm up that top lane now. Would have been a decent fight for Alliance to take if everyone was a little bit closer. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Blink Lasso was available as well, so we're going to see a little bit of a period in this game where both teams are just going to be, trying to vie for a little bit more map control. Maybe wait for this next Roshan to come up, which is going to be happening in a couple minutes, but right now DK just want to get more presence on the map. They do still have the tower, so it is easier for them to do that, though I think if they get initiated upon, they're not going to fight as well as they really hope they are going to. But really the Roshan is what DK is stalling for, is what Alliance is waiting for, and then once that happens, it's going to be a mad rush and mad Roshan fight. And once again, the question becomes, can S4 get initiation? Can Alliance get initiation that favors them? If they get initiation with S4 instantly getting hexed and they botch it, then DK with a now level 2 Eclipse with the Luna with the BKB is going to just rain hell on the Alliance side, and Alliance is not going to have anything to do about it. But if they do get burning for BKB, which is of course the ideal for Alliance, it's probably won't happen, but if they do get that, then DK, they are completely at a loss. They have a Timbersaw, which is great in the Roshan pit, as well as the blasts. Mushi's ward will also do a good amount of work, but they will not do nearly enough work to counter this Lifestealer, who now does have the Sanjin Yasha. He's moving at a blistering 441 without his phase boots active, 500 with that. That is almost a perma-haste Lifestealer. He is going for the full-on race car build, and it looks like it's working. You'll Scepter next for more movement speed. I don't think so, unfortunately. It's actually boots of travel up on S4. More movement speed on him, just wants to get whoever he initiates on as far out of that fight as possible, and well, it will be rather effective provided it is out of range of MMY. He's really the X factor for DK, because he's really the only form of counter initiation. I guess a Lucent Beam might stall S4 enough so that MMY can get an additional couple of seconds to actually get the Hex, but really it's up to MMY to recognize, hey, I'm in trouble, someone's gonna get lassoed. I better have my finger on this Hex button and be spamming it, because if you Hex Batrider, then he's initiating for you. He's throwing himself as a sacrifice to the mighty DK gods. And then you could it's just a feeding frenzy from there, because without that Batrider initiation, Alliance will struggle to take the fight. Loda is incredibly strong, and I might not be giving him enough credit, but really, initiation from S4 is what it's all about. They're going to go for this bottom lane tower once again, this time without Ake. I don't know what this is exactly about, but the tower is going to go down regardless. Admiral Bulldog, wow. That familiar didn't last a second. One Janata crit and it's dead. S4 now looking for an opportunity to jump in. Admiral Bulldog getting Lincoln Sphere, wow, from EGM. This Windrunner kind of flying under the radar as far as my clicking on him. But you know what? He found enough gold to pick up a frickin' Lincoln Sphere, and I guess that's pretty much ideal. You slap that buff onto S4, and all of a sudden, you need a Hex as well as an Impale. You really got to count on everyone from DK to drop as many spells as they can onto the Batrider if you want to actually save the person who's being lassoed. So MMY, with that pickup of the Lincoln Sphere, you are alleviated some of the pressure that your team has had on you, but still, you got to be there, and you got to provide the Hex. So only a little pressure alleviated. Big smoke up now from DK. They want to look for someone. They're going to find Ake, who's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Though if Mushi finds him, really, what is he to do? Doesn't have a Hex or anything like that. DK really need MMY up in the front, and even if that does happen, it's going to be a 5v5 full-on. No, it's going to be EGM running straight into the DK side. It's a trap. I didn't even see. Did EGM just like run from down here? That definitely happened. Now Roshan is up. Alliance a man down, but they will have the initiation advantage. Will it equalize Burning? Gonna find Admiral Bulldog, throw a Lucent Beam in exchange for that track. And they're gonna go right into the Roshan pit. There's a Flame Break flying out, trying to catch someone up onto the high ground. We're gonna have a TI3 repeat performance with the Flame Breaks? Perhaps. That would be cool to see. It would be cool to be a part of. Admiral Bulldog still housing Lifestealer inside of him. I don't know if DK know about it, although I think they suspect that something is up. They probably think that it's in S4, actually. And by it, I mean Lifestealer. But having Lifestealer and Admiral Bulldog, there we go. Hex is going to be initiation. There's the Impale as well. Admiral Bulldog is going to just barely escape the heals from him. Going to bring him all the way up to 800 HP. Mech being popped by DK as MMY tries to escape the clutches of Loda. Loda now alone within the rest of his team. The reinitiation from S4 going to catch Burning. They will burst him down. It looks like they will. DK Mushi now is going to be taken down. Buyback instantly from the Luna, instantly from the Pugna. They want to get back into this fight, but to what end? Ice and the rest of the squad are running out of here. Loda is going to retreat as well. Alliance, have they lost a single hero? It doesn't look like they have. They lost Windrunner before, but that doesn't matter. And DK losing their 2 core heroes and getting nothing for it again. Alliance, they're letting DK initiate for themselves. Oh wait, S4 gonna get hexed up, but MMY completely out of mana, and he's gonna try to give chase, but it looks like it won't be successful. S4 gonna blink away. He will actually thinking about turning around. He will catch MMY perhaps. Alliance, they're completely surrounding DK right now. Less than ideal, I would say. And S4, though, kind of low on mana. I think Alliance are just going to give this one up just for a little bit. They have the tracks out onto everyone everyone on the DK side. So, yeah, Alliance are just going to chill just for a little bit. Well, there you go. No more chilling needed. Regeneration Rune out of nowhere. S4 gonna spam out those spells, and Alliance now are ready to fight again. Admiral Bulldog not looking the most healthy, but he has Vlad, so he will just go into the jungle for a couple of last hits on some ogres who are unfortunate. Get himself a little bit of HP that way. In the meantime, S4 as well as Loda looking for prey. And they found some satyrs, not exactly what they want to find, but you know what? They'll wait. They're patient. Because they know that they're stronger in fights right now. Every single team fight that Alliance have taken has proved that fact. They are stronger than DK in a full 5v5 engagement. Because DK, every single fight that they've kind of come out even on, buybacks had to be used. And with Burning out of buyback, with Mushi out of buyback, that means Alliance are free to push down this tier 2 tower. Chakram or not. Loda's going to go to work, as is the rest of his team. There goes the tower. Loda getting the last hit onto that one. We'll give him a little bit more gold towards his Abyssal, unless he has it right now. That would be a little bit too absurd, I think. Just a Basher for now, but just a Basher is pretty much good enough. And now they're going to think about going for Roshan. DK will have this opportunity to set up another ward right, on the outskirts of Roshan. Pretty much ideal placement, because it will not get focused down. It will do a good amount of damage, but they kind of have to go soon. Familiar is scouting everything out. A couple of bashes from Roshan, slowing this down a lot. Loda kind of getting unlucky here, but also Familiar is dropping to Admiral Bulldog and DK. They're setting up this fight right now, and S4 going to go to the north, think about initiating with the pull down onto the low ground. If someone gets pulled down to the low ground, they're pretty much screwed. S4 thinking about it. Is it going to be Ice? It is going to be Ice. Down to the Roshan pit you go. Ice, though, does have a Timber Chain. They're thinking of bringing him back up. They will net him. They will nuke him down. Will it be enough? It will not be enough. He will just barely Timber Chain out of there. There's no more follow-up. Ice lives. With 9 stacks of that Bloodstone, he will be back up to a fightable amount of HP. But the tracks are all flying. The poking damage from Alliance, the power shots, the flame breaks. They're just constantly pushing DK back. S4 going to run straight into Lamb, will blink his way out, and Roshan slowly getting chipped down. This Roshan is going to last a very long time, but wow, if Admiral Bulldog keep doing that, constantly getting those 400 damage crits on the Familiars, bringing that down, Lamb, I mean, at this point, the Familiar cooldown is more important to him than the buyback countdown. You want those Familiars up for that stun, for that damage, but this Familiar is not going to last long. Admiral Bulldog is going to swipe this out of the air. No, he won't. It's going to be Loda. But right now, no Familiars up from DK yet. They still want to fight this. It's going to be very risky. MMY as well as Lamb shackled up together. Are they going to go in on this? Looks like Alliance going to play it safe for now. There will be more shackles. No need to get uppity. They're going to just wait it out. Here we go. More tracks flying. Another ward doing some work. Alliance with the big lead. Oh, there we go. There's the lasso onto Mushi. Instantly blown up. No chance for him. Burning's going to run straight into the meat grinder as well. Those are the two core heroes down. MMY is trying to run for his life. We'll get the Impale out. That's not enough. S4 will have a blink for it. Again, he will start laying down that tar onto Lamb, as well as getting body blocked. That's unfortunate. The track's going to close the distance for Admiral Bullock as well as Loda. That's going to be 4 down. That might even be the courier down. Courier, run, Drodo, no! He's going to get out of there, but it looks like Alliance taking 4 kills, losing absolutely nothing, and they're ready to push this base. This base with only Ice to defend. Chalk Run's fantastic, but it will not save you. It is not made of happiness and miracles. It might pull the aggro, but at this point, Loda's tanky enough. He has the Vlads as well as the Feast lifesteal, and the Chen creeps are still alive as well. J3 Tower is going down. DK slowly starting to revive, but it will take them another 20 seconds to get fully up and operational. In the meantime, their Raxes are dropping, and DK, they really can't do anything about this. They don't have the manpower right now, and it's going to result in their loss of the melee Rax, of the range Rax as well. And, are they going to get the range Rax? Thinking about it, yeah, they're going to get it. And now they fall back. Nice and clean. Roshan's still alive at less than half HP. They're going to go into that as well. Get all of the objectives at the same time, because why not? Loda has an empty inventory slot, and he will start the bash towards with Roshan. DK making a beeline for this area. Eclipse is up on Luna. This is DK's big chance. If they lose this fight, they lose the game. S4 going to find Burning. And Burning knows about it too, getting hit by that tar. Thinking about the initiation, he pops the Lincoln Sphere buff. Power shots flying. Alliance playing it super safe right now. From behind, Ice is there. But S4, and as well as Roshan, who's being a pretty large influence in this fight, just putting a little bit of damage onto Alliance whenever he can, is actually going to return to his natural resting state. And S4 once again looking for that lasso initiation. Does have that Lincoln Sphere on him. Tracks continuing to fly. Every single kill, this is going to give Alliance more and more ahead. DK need a miracle fight, and they need it right now. Shackle onto Ice will not latch. Decrep will dispel the Lincoln Sphere. Loda thinking about running in. Power shots, though. Wow, value power shots hitting onto 3 heroes. It's just a poking war. It's just a zoning war. Who's going to fire the first shot? It's going to be Alliance. Ice going to get grabbed before he can Timber Chain out. Now Burning getting a shackled. Will not latch, but the Eclipse will come out, but to what avail? There is nothing there for him to actually hit with the pipe up with the BKBs. MMY is getting the next one to fall. Ice going to buy back, but once again I ask to what end? Mushi going to get his life drain interrupted. Will try to force staff his way out, but with the track there, he will not escape. Loda going to bash down Lamb as well. Once again, it's Ice the only one to survive because of a buyback. It's a GG call. DK 24-5, a valiant effort from them, but Alliance, they forgot, is Alliance, and that's going to be GG. They had creeps in the base, I didn't realize that from the mid lane, but Alliance, with the net worth towering over DK's, there's only so much you could do, but that's it, guys. We're going to be moving on to game number 2, so if you're on the stream, holy shit, we got 1,200 viewers. Blasting records open. Here we go, guys. Okay. If you enjoyed this cast, go to my YouTube channel where I have much more content. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be streaming the next game as well, assuming I don't get angry PMs telling me to stop. But that's definitely not going to happen. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be moving on to game number 2 shortly.